Good morning and happy Ficsmas. Day 2. Let's see what day 2 has for us. Where is number 2? I see lots of 2s. Let me see. See lots of 2s, just not the 2. There's the 2. No, I've been screwed. Go figure. Alright, so much for anything fun today. That means we get to just collect packages and build, which is fine. I've already been out cleaning up Ada's litter. Looks like we've got more. Hey. Fun part, catching them in the midair. Well, if I can clean up all the litter, we'll go up to Ficsmas Village. And let Ada litter up there. Alright, I saw another one. Where is it? Don't see it is. Alright, so we're going to take these and go up to Ficsmas Village, which is oh, she heard me that I was going to stop picking up stuff. Now she's dropping a whole bunch of it. Holy crap. Sorry there, puppers. I talk about stopping and picking up, stopping the package pickup, and all of a sudden there's all kinds of them. Any more? Probably. let's see if we can get over to the okay, we have stashed a whole bunch of tree leaves, a whole bunch of candy canes, and a whole bunch of ribbons. And they are also run into the depot. So we are all ready to go, I think. Let's find our way over to, that's aluminum, not Ficsmas. Where's Ficsmas? Ficsmas is down here. So if you look in the distance, you see a tower. That's where we're going. Where's my entrance? Ficsmas. Okay, that should not happen. There should be no radiation here. The only radiation that should be right here is the radioactive rocks that are outside of my working area. But I got the radiation tech when I landed. That means that the radiation hog around here has respawned, and he should not spawn. There's a building. So the question is, where is he? So if you're watching yesterday, he's in here. He should not be able to spawn in here. If you were watching yesterday, I had only started on all this building. After stream, I did other things and then got the building finished, so we didn't have to waste time on it today. But we do have to get rid of this guy. I may have to make a gun after all. Come on, die, bastard. Did you die? I don't see any. There you are. Okay, you're dead. Okay, so we have our ground floor, which and this may be different than what I said last night. Ground floor is going to be storage. And I don't have an easy way into second floor at the moment. So we're going to have to do this. This will be logistics. This will be logistics and machines. And this will be display. Well, at least the bugs didn't respawn. There was a nest of bugs right here, and I built the tower hopefully to get rid of them and the nuclear hog, but apparently the nuclear hog was out of range of his spawn point was far enough to for this not to affect him. But we're going to be building machines here shortly, so see if I can get a bunch of things done. And some of this I'm not going to explain, it's just preparation for later. Those who have done Ficsmas before will understand, I think. And I will openly admit in this case that I am way overbuilding. But this is also part of my display. Had to have one in the wrong place. Actually, I'd be very surprised if there aren't several more. Yeah, there's gonna be a bunch of these that are in the wrong place. Well, I sincerely hope you can go around here and double check all of them. What I sincerely hope is they don't make significant changes from last year, because if they do, all of this will be moot. Good morning, Dan. For some things it gets in my way, for some things it doesn't. I wish they'd just plain put it down further to start with, but that's me. And now you made me lose count of what side I'm on. Morning. Is it morning? Really? Because to be honest, I have the foggiest clue. Even though there's a clock literally right over my screens that I almost never look at. Okay, Dad, here's a question. You've played the game before. Do you know what I'm doing? Do you know what I'm preparing for with all these? Don't say it, but do you know? Alright, where's front? Front is this way? Nope. Ada, why do you have to keep putting packages out? You're littering. You want me to work and I have to keep cleaning up after you. Figured you would. What do you think of the plan? I mean, this is how I did it last year too, but and I'm hoping they do the same thing. That's as far as, no, we will do something else here in the middle later, but first, let's get these set it up. Let's see, where am I going to do this? Where's front? There's front. You know what I need to do? Oh, I gotta remember, I gotta set this area up here too, but let's see. Where am I going to do it from? This is front. Okay. Yeah, that's what I heard too. So hopefully design plans from last year will work again. What I haven't checked is I still have my world from last year. I haven't gone and checked and seeing if the recipes are the same. Seeing if those machines have suddenly come to life. That would be cool. Let's see. If I'm going to have machines, let's see, this is machine layer. Doesn't really matter, but yet it does. Okay, so what we're gonna do, I don't even pay attention to how many each one gives. What have I picked up this morning? Oh, I got quite a few this morning. So we've got, if there's center front, I'm going to have buildings, factories there and there. Let's start here. Now, how did I do this? Because I've got to get them lined up right. I think. No, dumbass. This is not how I did it last year. No. And the bad thing is I just looked at my other design this morning. Did I? Doing that would make sense, but I don't think that's how I did it. can't put them that close. I can put them out here, but then I'm wasting space. New Year, if this is... No. I'm going to take a break for a minute here and go look at my old world. I'll be right back. Okay, coming back into this, and we did indeed put it right on the heads. Yeah, I knew that was gonna do that. Nope, 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 nope. I don't want to do it twice. Last year, in my single player world, I was starting not entirely from scratch as far as world, but I was only like on maybe beginning phase 3, maybe, when I started Ficsmas. So I had a lot of advancement to do to get any significant manufacturing done to make parts of Ficsmas easier. You don't need anything fancy to do Ficsmas, but it helps, especially if you're doing a significant setup for Ficsmas. Okay, now mergers. I am in the front. Good. Mergers going that way. Okay, fun part's done. No, belt. Thank you. This part doesn't go quite as fast. It could, but I'm not that good. One of the problems with not having a good manufacturing base before this was simply having enough resources in the depot to do a build like this. Because carrying stuff in your inventory just ain't going to work to do anything significant like this. Oops, nope. You are doing different. Okay. That's something else I didn't do. Machines and logic here. Storage and probably some other logic here. machines. Let's see. So for starters, we want, I should have counted machines, but okay, so we can do so for those who don't know what's coming for Ficsmas, I'll give a little bit of a teaser or hint so you understand what I'm doing. The bus I just made is for the presents you've been collecting, and I will have a bin up above. I'll be putting down below actually. I'll be putting a bin down here that will be where I drop my presents, and then that's going to feed somewhere. So I'll put a bin down there, and that'll come up and feed into this over here. It'll go around, come out here, and then I'm going to have a bus, I think, that'll go down here and around the back and down the other side, because I'll have machines down here and down there. And the idea is the presents and other things that you're making, including the stuff that we just made, will be used as ingredients for future things to make. And so all the items that will be needed for various machines, I'm going to put on a bus here. Is what I'm thinking at the moment. This is different than what I did last year. It's kind of what I ended up with after a bunch of spaghetti. And I'm just planning on getting it started early this year and having it so it's organized, because you don't want to see the mess from last year. It's definitely a hazard area. It would be near impossible to explain because there's crap everywhere. It's in straight lines, but it's everywhere. Actually looks remarkably like an actual factory would. What I don't remember is how many products I'm going to need. And I've got to do it in a way that all the machines can get to all the belts. If I put, so we're just going to spitball here. If we do 2 rows, we can do 3 high. That's 6, and that's definitely not enough. 3 rows would be 9. might be enough. I can move my machines in, but I got plenty of room, I think. Problem is that some of these products, each line here is going to be one product, and some products are going to need multiple machines, as I recall. I'm not certain of that, but I think some of them required a couple of machines. And thinking about it, Dan, didn't some of them require refineries or other tall machines and not just the smaller machines? I know we use constructors, assemblers, and smelters. Did we use the bigger machines? Yes? Yeah. So at some point I'm going to want more than this height. Which is weird because I know in my where in crap Alright, Dan, you want a tour of, and whoever's else watching, you want a tour of my old factory? We'll go see how I did it, because I know my main floor was only 3 or even 2 high. Let's go look at my old factory and see how I did it. I mean, we'll still be doing it notably different, but with the same general idea. I just don't want to give too much information to people who haven't done Ficsmas yet. Why did you start me here? This is where I was originally planning out my water independent aluminum. There's my early aluminum processing in this world. Oh, I did update this, so I have worked on this one recently, because I took out my original refinery setup and replaced it with my waterless one. Ha! So here's Spaghetti Junction. This is the regular factory. This is post spaghetti. You see all the buses, the belt buses that I set up. All of this is not my work. The original up here was, but my partner did the upper level and most of the factories down here. I corrected all his spaghetti with all the belt buses, which took weeks. And Dan already knows where I'm at on the map. Anyone that's played before does. So I don't usually do a lot of decorations, but I may have gotten carried away. And if you saw my thumbnail, you've seen this. This is where the thumbnail comes from. So we got all the items stored here and accessible from the outside. down into the dungeon. So we have foundry? Yeah, okay. So these are all constructors, smelters, foundries, assemblers. I don't see any refineries. And watch your step coming out the door. Just assemblers, smelters, and constructors, and foundry. So the foundry is going up into the ceiling, but these are four high foundations, so I let it clip. Oh, that's not. Those are 1 meter? Must be, and that's not clipping up above? Or showing up above? Just barely. Or just barely not showing, I guess. So there's my original bus, and this is the bus, the item bus that grew, was not planned for the outputs. So what I did on each one of these is, in general, is machine, buffer, and most, if not all of them, go directly into the depot. But as I got more items and all, I had to build more buses coming down here, and also had, because of where we are, the rock comes up, so it got a little stingy up here to put all the depot stuff up here, but I made do. I don't remember what we needed from outside. I know we didn't need anything but iron and copper, or I don't think we needed anything but iron and copper, because I think that's all I have coming in. My only, I think, let's go look. All right, where's the exit? See, this is why it gets interesting up here. As you can tell, I have signs, but there, you can see what's going on with the, that's what all my holes are for. Alright, we're going back here. What on earth plant is that? Oh, that's my steel over there. My dog pen. I believe this iron and that copper, which goes around the corner back there, is the only inputs to my Ficsmas. And I built these on anticipation of more stuff towards the end that never got used, I don't believe. I don't see anything coming up from those. There's my door with, I probably should put a watch your step sign on that door. And just like in the New World, I put my Ficsmas up here so it's out, so I could leave it and it wasn't in the way of the main factory. I'm not seeing any other inputs, so I think just enough copper and iron is all I needed. So there's your tip of the day for new players. Make sure you have plenty of copper and iron handy. You can still see it from down here. I tried to keep minimal decorations down here. May have gotten carried away on the recycling center. Okay, enough show and tell. Let's go back to I don't need to do that. Go right to server manager. Go back to the main game here. Okay, so 3 high should be more than plenty, assuming they don't put something new in. And I didn't see, I thought I remembered having items that needed 2 machines, but I didn't see any in there. Everything was single machine. I was thinking that there was a couple of them later that needed like a foundry and then a constructor kind of situation. But I didn't see any in there that I noticed. I wasn't really looking, but okay, so, and I didn't count my bus either. I'm going to go with 9 here for my thinking at the moment. If I do 9 here, and that's the wrong place to build those, for our purposes of the moment, that might be why you used the refinery. Yes, that would be a good reason to have used. So what I'm doing, and I'm sure Dan knows, but others might not, right now is I'm just building a test setup to make sure to plan out how I will access each of these buses. All right, build already. Had enough of you last night. Alright, floor-based. Those windows in the background are maybe not the best thing for this particular build as far as being able to see what you're doing. Okay, and these could actually be four-by buses. If I do this, no, I can't have the bottom ones because do I have room? I don't have room around the belts. If I do two side by side, I can use the outside. So what for those who haven't done this kind of thing, to tap a belt, I can put that's a merger, but same idea. Make a splitter just because. Put a splitter on the belt, and then grab a lift and put it on the belt, bring it down to the bottom, and then take the belt from there over to the machine. I'm not aligned, but the problem is that lift takes space. If I only have two lanes, then putting that lift on the outside is no big deal, either on this outside or this outside, whichever the case may be. It doesn't work so well with three. Yeah, I haven't looked at that mod yet, but if it's going to kill, killing other critters wouldn't bother me, but killing the berries and stuff would bother me. Not a major issue since I'm in peaceful, but it'd be a big problem if I was in regular mode. So the thought then is I don't know. Do I just leave space and wing it? Which I hate doing. I really, really hate doing, which is why I spend so much time thinking on my builds. It's also one reason why I watch other people, because it seems like almost everyone else wings it, and it's like, how do they do that? We can't do the, well, technically we could, but that's true. If you're in a spur of the moment, unexpected fight or what have you, or you do like I do and step off the wrong edge, you don't have time to go for your food anyways before it's too late. At least if you weren't at full health to start with. But yeah, if you're careful about what you're doing, and especially in my case where I don't play with the full danger mode, the odds of dying and actually needing the food are fairly slim, especially now that I have the hazmat suit. But well, I guess my thought is it would really suck to, let's say you collect a handful of food just in case, and then do the mod. All your food sources are now gone, and for whatever reason you use the food that you saved, and then you die again. Now you're kind of hurting. And I mean, you can always, I'm assuming, undo the mod, but would all the food and stuff come back? Uh-huh. Yeah, those are the ones that I hate. I mean, especially the nuclears, where you go to all that effort to fight the one, only to realize that um, the radiation you were getting wasn't from that one; it was from the one standing behind you. The other one that really gets me, especially since I'm in non-combat mode, the bees. Don't pay attention to non-combat mode. They come after you anyways. And if you don't notice that bee nest around the corner, you're fighting one, then you get tagged by the bees behind you. Okay. How are we doing this? And my answer is I don't know. I think I'm just going to wing it. I am going to start with the first. Nope, I don't want to get rid of that. I'm going to start with the first array there. No, actually, doggone it. I don't want these set up like that either. Not in that location at least. We're going to start like this and go from there, since at least this time I have lots of room to work with for expansion. So we're going to go, first lane is going to be here. And then 7 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down. We do that. And then actually, I'm not even going to put in extra belts until I need them, because right now all I need is this, and let's see, how am I going to bring the others up? Because I've got to bring the others up from down below too. Can I fit? Can I fit a merger in there? Oh, nice. I can. kind of negates my positioning of that. So for the moment, we're going to bring that down on what line? This line. Doggone it! Yes, take that. Take that too while you're at it. Not what I intended to do originally, but well, most of that wasn't what I intended to do. Let's try this again. There. Now, splitters for each machine. Because these three machines run off of raw gifts. So these three machines are tree branch, candy cane, and bow. Now, I need to go to a storage and a depot, but I also need to take and feed these back to the bus. So I need to go to do a storage and I will leave it for the moment, but I've got to remember that this is probably not the final arrangement. I'm just planning. We need a storage and a depot. Okay, that works because the standard left there, and I still have the output here to feed back to the bus one way or another. And that would be a bus out here on this end that would come back around. Well, it wouldn't have to come back around because none of the later products, for any given product, it's only going to feed future machines. So any product would only have to come out and go like back like this to feed a later machine. But that does mean that I want to leave, I don't need to, well, I want to leave gaps where I can bring these back to add to the bus. Does my thinking make sense, Dan? I'm sure you do things different, but does, and that's kind of why I explain my thinking to, this is how I'm thinking, this is how I do it. Does it make sense to you? Am I missing something obvious for relative to my way of thinking? I have plenty of room to push these out for the bigger machines and for a second stage machine if necessary. I can come all the way out to the center line here. In fact, why don't I do something I don't normally do, and let's do a aha, gotcha. No worries. Let's do a little bit of decoration. Let's mark center. Let's do, I don't have, nope, this one. I don't have, where are they? They'd be in here. And I don't have tickets. Where are my tickets? 53, that's plenty. Store, shop, let's see. Customizer. How much does this go to? I don't usually use these, but how much does that total up to? Oh yeah. Let's grab thing is, I got those, I'm grabbing those 53 tickets. Those tickets are nothing. There's like 200 in the, that I haven't taken out of the. All right, Dan, have a good day. Don't work too hard. Okay, good. There's still, well, I'm in here. Let's see if there's anything else interesting. I don't usually use these either, but let's see what else. I don't ever use the clean pipeline. My voice is hating me today for some reason. I've got pretty much everything purchased, I think. Yep. Aww. Really?
Fixit does not guarantee improvement of workplace readability, efficiency, or safety with use of these patterns, since the process of deployment is dependent on pioneer skill.
Bite yourself, Ada. Okay, so we're, at least in thought process, we're allocating that to bus wraparound. If I do that, then I can put, we'll say putting the storage stuff here. Actually, haha, yes. Because, no. Doggone it. Because storage is down below. Storage is supposed to be down here. For a reason. And storage, actually, I want to be back against the outer walls here. Might have to do this backwards. Okay. Doable still. Still gonna put that in there. Actually, that's probably perfect. Because we still have to bring the stuff up from down below and insert into this setup. So I'm still gonna need that hole in there somewhere. But what we're going to do, since I want the storage bins down on that end, what we're going to do is split this, instead of splitting it down in the corner, we're going to split it up here somewhere. And then we'll have the factories and the main bus. Let's put you in here. That gives me room for a second machine, just in case. Perfect. Storage. And 2 lanes of busing, or two foundations. That's as many as 6 rows of bus structure. Plenty of room. Should even have room for craps and giggles. Should even have room for, let's say we have a foundry and an assembler. Still have room. And then the storage will be again the depot, that's going to be cutting it close, because I can only go actually that could work very nicely. Nope, hole. Make sure it's lined up right. Does that work? Haha! Oh, that works very nicely. And I still got to put a belt there, but that's simple. But with the floor hole there, that allows me to get my belt, although the items will still clip through that. As they go up, the items will still clip through that. I'm going to say I don't care. That's what I'm going to say. Problem is, I do care. Uh-oh. Didn't realize that. Let's go see if that clips upstairs. Nope, we can't have that. That is not acceptable. That is most definitely not acceptable. Littering all over my frickin' building, are you, Ada? Ooh, this is new. I saw this for the first time last night on another stream. It is snowing. I have never seen that even during Ficsmas in previous versions, so that's got to be something with the new update. And it was alluded to in one of the preview videos that there was going to be weather of sorts. Cool. Very cool. This is not acceptable. We just don't know what to do about it yet. I'm thinking. Ada, you want us to be efficient in building and working, but you keep littering and making us picking up stuff. That is too far away for me to get in fly mode. Storage. Build. So this doesn't work. So I guess the next question is do I need the big bins? And I think the answer is going to be whether I need it or not. Thing is, if I use a small bin, I don't have the dual outputs. I guess I can work with that. Because that's just a matter of let's see. 2 there, so storage here. Splitter here. Yeah, that cramps. We go with splitter here. What on earth are you tying to? There's nothing over there or anywhere else. It swears there's a machine over there. That's interesting. If we put the splitter here, that's as far out as we want to go. And we put a small bin right up to it. And we put a, just for purposes of checking sizes, so put a foundry right up next to it. That's not aligned usefully, or maybe it is by accident. It is. That still leaves us plenty of room with, if I put a second clearance line. And here we would have a floor hole on one side, dimensional depot on top, with a lift on the other side, that would then tie into the depot. I could put the lift out here, but then we're into our clearance area. And really this, we've got plenty of room how far out? 1, 2, 3. Yes. If I move that in 3, and I've moved the other stuff, but I know we had room. How much room? 2. Having the extra Ficsmas up at the top screws up my visual alignment of where things are here. Let's go with an assembler. Out there. And a foundry. Here. That's before moving it back. So let's put the foundry here, but 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 back. And if we have this also marked as a clearance area, I still have room to put a splitter or a lift or whatever. I wouldn't need a splitter in this space, just a lift. So yeah, that gives me room for 2 clearance on either end and all of the bits. So let's move this back. To there. Doesn't put that where I'd like it, but let's see how. How does that work if I have... Yeah, that I can accept, because belts, as long as I don't have a stand right there, belts will clear that. I can accept that. So then we'd have floor hall here going downstairs for storage. See, there again, I'm forgetting that the storage is supposed to be downstairs. That's the whole point of this. So that bin doesn't go here. But at the same time, no, that's fine. The bin and the depot go downstairs. So I got all kinds of room up here. No, because the bin, I guess I need two bins, one downstairs for storage, and that's for hand grab storage. It's downstairs. Most of which it won't actually be needed, but it'll be there more easily accessible than what this is. Because this area is not going to be well accessible. What I'm planning on downstairs will be designed for player accessibility and looks. So I'll have a storage here, which the purpose of that is for feeding the bus. And I'll have storage downstairs for player grabbing. But that means I do not need and I still need it here because, well, no. If I put that there, and then we'll feed this, will go back to the bus that's back here. Or better yet, that goes downstairs. And this can go up here to go back here to the bus, to wherever it's going on the bus. And that way I don't need to worry about adding space between the machines. Ow! I don't know if you guys heard that. Mike sometimes picks up little things and sometimes not. My wrist just popped rather loudly to me. I need to set that up yet. Okay, so let's set up our first machines. So first machines are Did I have that floor hole right on the edge? I think I did. There and there. And then splitters there, there, and there. And then we only have one machine for these lines, and that's just a constructor. That is going here, which will be where all of our main machines, let's see, those two, skip those two. Yes. Might have to change it, but I don't think so. Wait a minute. Storage goes here. And we still have room for a machine. Yep. Okay. Don't need the so our machines are here. Let's, while I'm thinking about it, let's do our it'd be nice if they made that line up. Ah. And then if we need any of these products, and we will for future machines, we'll do a lift off of here up top back to our bus, which we will build here. Now we're going to split this . Guess we're going to split it. No, I don't want to split it there. I don't want to come down. I want to leave a gap here. So I guess we will come down here. And this will be our first line. And for that, then we will split for our current machines. And this is tree branch, candy cane, bow. And then later, any products that we need to come back will again come back, will go up from the other end of the storage up to roof, come back and get added into the bus here. Well, downstream. And then means I need to reconnect this around the corner. Oops. I need to figure out how these are mergers. I want to keep this way. I need to I'm putting a bin here. That needs to come up in the corner and join into those. So it'll either have to join on that port there or the bar port here. Choices, choices, choices. Now what? Stand by, guys. I gotta deal with something. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. My sister decided now was a good time for demanding my attention. Where was I? I was figuring out how to take a bin that I'm going to place here. We're going to go with a big one. And we're going to put it here. And we're going to if I want to go into there, it's got to come down one way or another. Well, it's got to come down at least to there. We can keep it up in the air to keep it so I can walk under it in theory. And then if I put a floor hole all the way back in the corner, and go here. Nope, I gotta come up 4. We gotta reverse that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do that. Okay. And then out here, we're going to do some creative clipping. I was going to clip with the power heads too. Oh well. Something ain't right. Did I put this in backwards? No. Okay, now it's going out like it should. Now we take the single floors back out. And put regular floors back in. And put my windows back in. Now I can put all of my presents in there. And they'll go up here. Actually, nope. Make sure it's properly protected over there. Alright, I thought there was a hole over there. Must be next floor they did that. And we can do the same thing up here. Maybe if I aligned it properly first. Okay. So down here, now we will have the dimensional storage will be down here. And if I do this right, okay, so storage is directly aligned on that block. If I directly align storage on the same block here, except that I want big storage here, then putting the depot up there, it is directly under the storage above. Doggone it. Everything else in the game will clip, but that won't. I object. That is not cool. That's not cool. That means I have to put the dimensional out here. also means I could move this back since I can't. My intent, what I was thinking is I could take and just hide because before this clips up too far into the upper space, it shows and would disrupt placing machines. And I was thinking if I put it directly under the other storage, then it wouldn't matter. But it's apparently being fussy about that. So I could now move these back so they don't have it directly aligned, but I do need to have this out here on the same level, although I could lift it if I need to. Don't know that I need to, but I think I might want to. That brings up something else. I'm not going to be able to, well, I can, but it won't work the way I want it to. So my intent, and this is for looks, not function, which is something I don't normally do, my thinking at the moment at least, is I want to put in a literal mall, a literal, so your main walkway and storefronts, and have each product in its own store. But that takes, to do what I want to do, would be 3 spots per storefront with 1 spot in between. But that, I've got 41 spots. So 41 spots. No. 21, I've got 40 spots. Let's see. 40 divides nicely by 3, of course. So that's 13 products I can do. No. 10 products I can do. But honestly, I don't remember how many products we have. And even if I do, well, I suppose that's not what I wanted. Let's assume I do I want glass doors, is what I want. But let's say we do this. So I don't have to do any spreading of these, spreading out of these and making, so we have to do a bus up here. I mean, I got the space, I've designed for that purpose. But the less of that I have to do, the better. And I've seen people do this concept in a much more compact space, and it boggles my mind, even though I watched it being built. Like in well, not quite first person, but like I'm here while he's building there. I'm in the same game, watching him build, and I still don't know how he managed to do it. mean, there's not a whole lot of display I can do. I mean, I can put signs here on the side. I can put candy canes here next to the doors. Like this. And there's other decorations we get. But every store is going to be the same, except for that label. What is the point? There's not much I can do with that little bit of space. I mean, even if we do the typical mall kind of store and have a long store, I mean, to be clear, the ultimate point, what we'd be doing here is, where are my walls? Is something along. I mean, well, I'm not going to do it, but I'd have if I lifted this up, like I said a minute ago, then I just have the belt from here running to that wall hole. Nope, I can't do that. That's not. This storage would have to be, has to be right here. Erg. Well, yeah, you can take off a belt, but that doesn't help if I want a whole stack. The idea is to have the storage in that hole where I can take however much I want. And regardless of whether I build this 1 wide or 3 wide like I was thinking, that's what the plan is. But if I were to do stores 3 wide, then I would have entrances like this for each store with a 1 blank wall in between. I wouldn't have to do the 1 blank wall in between, I guess. And then I can do 6 on a side. That'd give me 12 stores. Which should be enough, I think. But even then, I mean, it gives me more room for decoration, but it just seems like excess. It's what's I know I'm too function oriented. I am not decoration oriented. It's to me, just put the main aisle down here and with those holes in the walls, and I can pick what I want. That's my standard mindset. Thinking out decorations and doing things for looks is contrary to my ethos, to put it bluntly. But I do want to do decorations. I'm just not convinced it's worth the extra effort that I'll have to go to, because if we have things here coming down every few blocks, most of those are going to need to be bussed all the way around to the other side. I suppose I could go just straight across, but let us look, let us consider. Nope, we want that wall. Moving this wall, and that wall, and these walls. actually we are moving that wall. And that wall. And for this, for the moment, I need to move, let's see, door is going to go there. For the moment, for momentary purposes, walls. Crap, how far down did I have that wall? 3 in, I think. This is the fun part. Let's see. The key to so much decoration is getting things placed where you want them. Nope, what? So there's our storefront, rinse and repeat down the line. But then what am I, and then not exactly in the right place. Also not exactly in the right place. Standard me. Never in the right place. See, now I can walk up to this and access the storage. Hi, Valius. Plan? Am I supposed to have a plan? We're considering, we're doing something that's contrary to my way of being. We're doing decoration stuff. We're building a literal mall for Ficsmas products. But see, to me, all this space in which we'll put a few generic decorations is, what's the point? I wonder. Ooh, maybe I can. Yes, it does. Why, doesn't yours? Oh, I can't just place I can't place a bow down. I was thinking that maybe I could place the item, just drop the item down as if it was a store display. But no such luck. Well, that would have made it at least a little bit of or a little bit of use for decorative, because otherwise I can just do, oh, I don't know, can I even do, let's see. Are you clicking on the number for the day? You've got to click on the hidden number for the day. Interesting. But you do see the calendar. It just didn't give you the other stuff. Do you have seasonal events turned off? But I would think it wouldn't even show you the calendar if that was off. Can I put... Does this have Ficsmas stuff in it? It does. Cool. So I can put signs on the wall for decoration, but I can do that in a single row. I don't need the 3 wide, all that space to do. So you're not able to get the daily stuff, the daily drives or whatever in the calendar, which are kind of necessary. Interesting. And I'm sure you've shut down the game and restarted it, so the only other thing I can think of is deconstruct and reconstruct your hub. So I'm other than it being cool to have this this inset style for the store, I'm not seeing any even decorative reason for having the extra space. It just doesn't compute any. There's no reason for it that I can see. So we're going to go don't want to erase that, just the walls. I think I will do let's see. If I have this here, I'm going to need to come like this. How is this going to work? I'm going to have to feed it here at the bottom. Where is the... Where's the storage rack at? There it is. if I put then that's in the way of my belt, although let's see what a belt looks like. Yeah, a belt can go through there fine. So if I put these here, nope, too close. But let's see what it looks like anyways. And then stretch a depot. Oh, we can do this. How does that look? That looks decent. And then I can do this. And we can do the belt underneath from the bus. That would be coming down from here. So we can even move no, actually I like that. But both functional and looks decent. And then we have the stores would be regular wall, please. Door. Then I do this again. And then I have all this to do building front decoration, or nothing. But it's dead space no matter what I do, because the buildings, the factories up above are starting two back. And this opens up the center area more for decorations like candy canes. And so I'm not tucked right up against the wall looking at signs. I can see signs a ways down the hallway. So how are we going to do signs? I don't know. Is that too big? Yeah, it looks kind of big. What do you want, on the side or on top? And remember, there's another shop right there. Put candy canes between the shops. Problem with the candy cane is there's no way to. They rotate the wrong direction, and when you're down here, you can't tell whether they're facing you or away from you or what. Put a candy cane between the shops. Put one over here too. But I gotta go up to make sure it's rotated right. Let's see. Regular wall. Yeah, later. Let's see. Signs, organization. I'm not convinced, but let's see. First of all, we want larger image icon. This first one is a tree branch. And this one would be Gene. And then we have the ribbon. And then we have this coming down. Well, let's see if our first factory works. Nope, I need to put the wall back there. Oh, crud. Nope, that's fine, because the plan is to have... Why is that a... Oh, yes, we're at the bottom floor, so that's a 4. I don't know, that feels awful tight of a store. What do I have for roofs? That's better. So it is different. Interesting. There is a particular way. Okay, so outside the store, I have signs above the doors. Go in. We have a long, irrelevant area, and pick up whatever item it is, and walk back out to a 3-wide hallway. Seems excessive, but that's me. I'm just not. Do not want to kill the power line. I'm just not into doing things for the visuals. Let's just get the factory functioning. And then I got one more thing to build because I haven't put up the big tree yet. This factory. Oh, I gotta worry about power up here too. Power. It's always something, isn't it? It's always something. Well, I know how, but I've got power nodes intentionally all around the outside here. So I guess we take and put one I think we're gonna go put it here. Nope, there. Then we grab it in here. No. This one. I'm going to take this one and put it there. And then we're going to put this one and people are yelling at me, just put it somewhere. Yeah, sorry, a little bit of OCD. Not too bad, but a little. Now, did I program these yet? Yes. So you guys just want presents. And then you'll split into main storage, a splitter for return to the bus, go down the stairs. Where you feed bulk storage and there was a small update yesterday afternoon. I did not notice a update in Steam telling what it was, but my server version changed, or no, my game version changed, and I had to update my server yesterday afternoon at one point. So there was something yesterday, but Ficsmas already worked yesterday morning, so that was not Ficsmas. It may have been fixing Ficsmas or something, but I didn't see a notice on Steam as to what that update was. And well, see, you don't play enough. You need to start the game more often and play more often. I think I got it late yesterday evening because it happened in the middle of my streaming, if I remember right. I had shut down the game. Yeah, I figured that, but timing. I think I had shut down the game because I was having an issue with a bug, and I think that's when it happened. That when I restarted the game, it updated, and then the server wouldn't connect to the server, and I had to restart the server. I think is what happened. But that would have been like, I don't know, 10 o'clock U.S. Eastern Time, whatever that is relative to you. It'd be UTC -5, whatever. Okay, coming down from upstairs, going into the main storage, going into the depot, which is way overkill, but, okay, so you're an hour behind me. It's quarter to noon for me. So you must be U.S. Central. Or Canada or Mexico. But I'm assuming U.S. So I don't see any reason why... Okay, Canada. That was close. A couple degrees latitude. Okay, so if I dump my packages into the bin here, we'll just throw some of them into the bin. There they go, up our thing there. Except that needs to be, oh crap. Need to take one of these out temporarily, I guess, so I can... Okay, that one is Mark 5. So what isn't Mark 5? Something up above is not Mark 5 by the looks of it. Must be this. And so all 40 of the presents I did are scooting their way around the... Nope, are they already here already? Machine's working. And that's a 1. So there's another 1 somewhere. Where is there a 1? Where's my packages backing up? Must be this. We fixed that. Okay. So all the packages should have gotten to they've come in here and gotten used already by the looks of it. And they will have gone into down here and that's not cool either. That'll work. Because this way it's going to fill up the personal storage before this, and that is not ideal. Because it's just going to pass through this and go downstairs. A number of ways to handle that, but I'm not keen on any of them. Let's see if this all worked as intended first. We'll cover that later. I'm assuming then everything went into the depot. But it appears to have worked, since at least something went in there. And if something went in there, then everything went in there. This should all be 1. Because we don't need high speed down here. I think there's still things I don't like here, prioritizing in particular, because we want to fill and handle this buffer up here before anything goes anywhere else. So that would mean I need to have a priority splitter before the buffer with priority feeding this buffer and overflow going downstairs. That changes where our downstairs link is. Not a major deal, just planning. And that's why I didn't dump all my stuff into the we can also do, since we don't have the dimensional up here, this is where our feed back to the bus will be, if necessary. Then we have our smart splitter here. And we'll put our floor hole here. And make sure we set this to go overflow. And then we go back downstairs, take a shortcut, and redesign all this in several ways. First of all, we don't need the big storage down here. And we want to prioritize depot over local. So we can take this and go directly into our splitter. We don't need any busing down here, so I can take and put dimensional right here. There we go. Make that a smart splitter with a priority any over there and overflow. Nope, actually none here. Overflow that way. There we go. Much better. Much better. Much better. Gives us our priorities. Gives us a nice spacing. We still have room here for a second machine if necessary. We have a better way to run these back to the bus instead of going in between everything. Although now with where I put the power links, it'll be running right through the power links. Maybe I'll have to move the power links. They'll still go through the wire, but eh. Yeah, no, this will go under the wire, I guess. Do believe we have a plan for future products. And if you hadn't figured out, this bus along the top is where eventually we will have packages being provided by other means. But we don't have that yet. That comes fairly late in the game, or I think that'll be mid-season. But in the meantime, we have the manual drop-off here. It just goes into the same bus system and comes down here. So it takes a long route around because it comes up into that corner, goes all the way around the building. This also reminds me, I'll do that later. I got lots of packages to throw in here. I've got product from last night to throw into the bins, but I'll do all that off camera. And it is going on noon. It is noon, so I'm going to call it here so I can go get food and have the rest of my day until I do the regular stream tonight, hopefully. Holy crap. Slow, 30 minutes? I think mine took like 5 or 10 minutes, and I got a slow internet. What are you doing, dial-up? And then there's the other possibility is that there's an update that has gone out since I started the game this morning. Which, I mean, that's been 4 hours. So there may be another update that I'm not getting too. So we'll see that here in a couple minutes. But I'm going to call the stream here. Thank you for watching. Hope it wasn't too boring listening to me think and try things out. That's what you're going to get with me. A lot of the time is me spending a lot of time thinking ahead rather than just slapping things down. Yep, that will be it for today for Ficsmas, and we'll see you again tomorrow morning for Ficsmas, or tonight for my regular fighting with aluminum tonight. But have a good day. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. Bye.